Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a specific review on the brand new eyeshadow palette by Rare Beauty, which is Selena Gomez's line. I've actually never tried any of her eyeshadow palettes, so when I saw this one, it honestly really caught my attention. Not only the layout of the palette, but just the palette itself. And you guys have been asking me to review more high-end makeup. If you're new to my channel, hi, my name is Karina, also known as OMGlashes. I do tons and tons and tons of drugstore products, reviews, tutorials, everything. So my channel is definitely more focused, more geared towards drugstore, but I do want to switch it up for you guys because I know that tons of you also enjoy more high-end makeup. So I will definitely be expanding my horizons more and bringing in more high-end content. So whatever makeup you guys want to see, definitely let me know in the comments. But anyway, today's video is going to be a one dedicated video to just the eyeshadow palette itself. We're not going to be doing a face tutorial. I just like to start my tutorials or my face with my eyeshadow. Okay, that's enough for the intro. I hope you guys enjoy this review on the Discovery Palettes True to Myself eyeshadow palettes by Rare Beauty. And if you're not subscribed, subscribe to my channel. It is totally free, 99. And without further ado, grab your cafecito and let's go ahead and get started. Lids are nice and prepped. Let's go ahead and start with the palette. But before we jump into the tutorial, let me just give you a little bit of information on the palette itself in case you're curious. If you're also new to it like me, this is called the Discovery Eyeshadow Palette, but the name of the actual palette, it's called True to Myself. This is an eyeshadow palette with 7 ultra smooth and richly pigmented shades in a range of finishes from pearl, metallic, matte, and glitter. This is what it looks like. We have a beautiful gold, pinky, mauve, this big palette which is a glitter, and then these are more on the purpley family. This gorgeous peach color is just calling my name. If you watch my tutorials or my eyeshadow palette reviews, you know that I try to use as many colors as humanly possible. So that's what I'm going to try and do today. I have my Vermona color switch ready to go, and let's dive into the palettes. The first shade that I'm going to try is this really pretty creamy peachy beige. Oh, and PS, actually, you know what? I'm going to use the mirror in this palette. I'm going to tap my brush in there, and I am going to apply that all over the crease as a transitional shade. I think it was either like a picture inside Sephora or somewhere, but Selena Gomez had this beautiful, very simple makeup, which if you know me, I don't do very many simple makeup looks on my channel. I love doing super dramatic ones, but she had like, I think it was this shade all over, and then the glitter just like pressed all over the lid, and it looks so beautiful. But we're not going to do that today because we're going to try out most of these shades, which means we're gonna go pretty glam. So first impressions, I mean, this is nothing crazy revolutionary, but I can tell you that the mattes are very soft. They're pretty buttery. They're blending out really nicely. The pigmentation is awesome, and I'm not getting too much kick up, which is always a plus. It's really not a deal breaker in my book, but if it is in yours, then I think you will enjoy this palette. Also, if you know me, you know that I love anything peachy toned, so I am living for this beautiful, it's like a flesh color, but it just has such rich, like nectarine undertones. It's absolutely breathtaking. It's really pretty. The more that you build it up, the more intense the color is going to get, Avi. Now we're going to switch brushes. I'm going to take something that's a little bit more compacted and not so fluffy. This is the BH Cosmetics Weekend Vibes number 5 brush. Let's take this shade right here, and then maybe we can deepen up the crease with that one. We'll see how deep this one is, but it's a really pretty, it's a cool tone purple, which I'm interested to see how it's going to work with a warm tone color. I'm going to go back with a little bit more because I want to bring it in here. And I'm just going to move my brush back and forth, hugging the crease, the eye socket all around. just like that. The more that I built and played with the color, honestly, the prettier it got. It's really doing a really good job at like blending and just mixing together with that first shade that we applied. So now let's move on to my third shade, which is going to be probably the deepest one in the palette. If you are wanting something that has tons of like deep colors, this palette is not going to be for you. This one has very neutral, everyday, work appropriate colors. So let's take that shade, which is called Passionate, and I'm going to take that on a fluffier, or not a fluffy brush, but something a little bit tighter so I can really get right in here. I'm going to place that in the outer corner. It's a really pretty color, but it's definitely not as intense as I typically go when I'm wanting to deepen up the crease, but that's okay. Like, the color and the payoff is still there. I really do like the colors together, but I have to say that I'm not able to see a transition from like the brown to the taupey color. So I can't see a transition from here to here. To me, it's just all blending to be one color, which is not a big deal, but I typically like to see all three colors that I'm laying down, if that makes sense. But you can definitely see that really pretty peach just peeking through. So I'm gonna go ahead and just do this eye. Off camera, I went ahead and cut the crease. So now let's go back into the eyes. And what I'm gonna do is, I always like to start off at the edge just so the shimmer shades don't get messed with. I'm gonna go back with the shade Positive. Pretty much the shades that we just used all over the crease. We're going to reuse them, starting with the darkest and then going in with the lightest. I do have to say that these colors are really nice. They just blend really, really nice. They're very easy to work with. So if you are beginner with eyeshadows and maybe you've been interested in some of Selena's makeup, this palette is, I think it's a good one to start off with. Now let's dive into some of the pearls, some metallics, and the glitter. I'm just going to just go with the flow, and I will tell you guys what I'm doing as I'm going, because sometimes I say one thing and then I end up doing the complete opposite. But I am going to start with that shade first, which is called Genuine. Oh, okay. That's really pretty. It's a very soft rose gold. I'm just going to tap that into the inner corner. I did wet my brush, which I guess I shouldn't have, to see how well it worked without getting it wet. But honestly, like, it's just a habit of mine. I just naturally do it without even thinking about it. I'm going to go into the other side, and I'm going to take this one. This one is actually like a duochrome. I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's like, do you see how it shifts depending on where you put it on the light? So I'm going to take that and I'm going to again wet my brush, and this one is just going to go on the remaining part of the lid. Ooh. Okay, this one is definitely my favorite. It's really pretty. Oh, that color. Honestly, these shadows don't need to be wet. The payoff is stunning all on their own. Okay, so the very last shade that I'm going to use is obviously the glitter. I cannot do a tutorial, not use the glitter. So I'm going to use that same brush. I'm not going to use any glitter glue because I'm going to see if the glitter itself adheres to the eyes without anything. I'm going to take that same brush. I'm going to grab that and I'm going to apply that on right here to do kind of like a sandwich look. I have a little bit of a glitter fallout, but nothing too crazy. Like I said, the glitter is really pretty and it's definitely not like wham, but I think that's the point of it. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish off this eye off camera. I'm also gonna go and do my full face. I'm gonna come back and show you how the eyeshadow looks with lashes on, just a completed look. And yeah, I'll be back in just one sec. I am now back. So this is how the eyes are looking with a full face bead. I did a very natural lash because the eye look to me is very natural, even though we have like glitter going on. So okay, what are my thoughts? These are my 2 cents, you guys. Obviously, you are in charge of your coin. I'm just trying to let you know my thoughts, my review, and kind of test out the product. So I think this palette is beautiful, okay? Now, I personally like very intense eye looks. I like them to be very dramatic, very bam, very different from this. To me, this is a very soft and subtle look. That doesn't mean that the palette is bad itself. I think if you are starting with makeup, this palette is for you. If you don't like to use too many shades, this palette is for you. It's just a very beginner friendly, eyeshadow friendly palette for anybody, and it's very natural. The shades have pigments, but they're not like crazy pigment that you're like, whoa, what am I gonna do? I added too much color. They're just very easy to work with. They're very pretty. I feel like these are colors that you can use for an everyday look. If you work at an office, if you just, I don't know, want to look presentable for your job, I think this palette is beautiful. Is it something unique? I don't think so. I'm sure you can find these same shades in tons of other palettes, but that's nothing new nowadays. Like I feel like it's very hard to come up with a unique palette. So I think the concept is cute. I like the packaging. I feel like it's very travel friendly. It's very sleek and it's not too bulky. So that is it for me, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed today's review on the new Rare Beauty True to Myself eyeshadow palettes. I love you guys. Thank you so much for being here. Stay safe. I hope you have an amazing and blessed day. And until next time, I will see you all in my next video. Bye.